Now, Durkheim's concept of collective conscience. The concept of collective conscience is defined by Emil Durkheim as the body of beliefs and sentiments common to the average of members of society. It contains those beliefs and sentiments which are found in the average members of society. For example, it is people's belief that poor should not be tortured. Instead, people should take care of them. It comprised a form and content which varies according to whether society is characterized by mechanical or organic solidarity. According to mechanical solidarity, the collective conscience is extensive and strong, widely related to people's life. It controls the people through various religious or other traditional means of sanction. It emphasizes the primacy of society over the individual and his or her dignity. Gradually, the collective conscience declined in its influence and became less extensive. In the transition to organic solidarity, this could be observed in the replacement of repressive by restitutive, that is, making amends of it by systems of law. According to Durkheim, a society-wide collective conscience can only hold a segmental society together. The collective conscience becomes a diffusive, abstract cult of the individual which, as a civil religion, supplies ultimate principles and justifications but cannot bear the whole weight of social cohesion. Durkheim believed that collective conscience is in the beliefs and expresses itself in the form of symbols. For example, the festival of Vijayadashmi represents the victory of good over evil. This belief can be seen in the concrete form in this festival. The individual consciousness becomes subset of collective consciousness, and therefore any violation of collective consciousness is labeled as revolt against whole society. The influence of collective consciousness varies from society to society. It is more prevalent among mechanical societies, that is, less advanced and highly religious societies. Its influence declines in the organic society, that is, advanced societies which are highly secular. The collective consciousness gets transferred from generation to generation through the process of socialization. So, Durkheim's concept of collective conscience says that collective conscience is the body of beliefs and sentiments common to all the members of the society, and it contains those beliefs and sentiments which are found in the average members of the society. So, for example, that it is said by the people that poor should not be tortured. Instead, people should take care of the poor people. So this belief is not of a single individual, but it is believed by all the persons in the society. So, according to mechanical solidarity, the collective conscience is extensive and strong, widely related to people's life. It controls the people through various religions or other traditional means of sanction. In case of organic solidarity, it is observed in the replacement of one particular act with the other. Then Durkheim believed that collective conscience is in the beliefs and expresses itself in the form of symbols of good over symbols. For example, the festivals in India, say the festival of Vijayadashmi, where it is believed that on this day the good over evil, victory of good over evil was done. Therefore, this festival is celebrated. The influence of collective consciousness varies from society to society. It is more prevalent among mechanical societies than in organic society. According to Durkheim, all deaths which are the direct or indirect result of any function of dead person about which he himself knows that thin act will cause death to him, Durkheim is called suicide. So Durkheim says that suicide is that death of a person which the person himself knows that the particular act will cause his death. It is called suicide. Durkheim suggested 4 forms of suicide which are mentioned below. Number 1, egoistic suicide. A person gives too much importance to his own self or ego, is not properly integrated in society. A excessive self-reflection on personal matters leading to a withdrawal from the outside world. As a result, there is weakening in the bonds of solidarity in the family, religious and political organizations. So, when a person gives too much importance to his own self or ego, he is not properly integrated in the society. He has excessive self-reflection on personal matters, leading to withdrawal from the outside world. As a result, there is weakening in the bonds of solidarity in the family, religious and political organizations, forces him to commit a suicide. Then second one is altruistic suicide. In this, the person is over integrated with the society. It is reverse of egoistic. Here he is very much integrated with the society. They commit suicide for the cause of society or a kind of self-denial. For example, Sati or Jawhar. Then anomic suicide. In societies that experience sudden changes, anomic is a state which results from the weakening of the powers in the society that regulate social equilibrium. The person meets frustration and he cannot withstand it. He puts an end to his life. Then fatalistic suicide, where there is excessive degree of regulation and an overly developed regime. For example, seeing no alternative to to enslavement. Under the matter, a slave takes his life.